This presentation has been designed to test the effect of dams on salmon fisheries in the Klamath Basin, where they wish to remove Copco 1, Copco 2, and Iron Gate dams. The primary premise for the removal of 4 dams on the Klamath River, of which 3 are hydroelectric, is to restore salmon fisheries in California, Oregon, and Washington. After intense research into the issue, data has indicated that the real cause of salmon decline in the Pacific Northwest is not due to dams or human activity. The primary cause of salmon decline is due to a historic rise in temperature within the Pacific Ocean. The following graph presents the metric tons of all salmon landed in Alaska as compared to temperature changes in the Pacific Ocean. It becomes apparent that as the ocean temperature rises, the salmon move into colder waters off of the coast of Alaska. These graphs represent the metric tons of all salmon landed in California, Oregon, and Washington as compared to temperature changes in the Pacific Ocean. It becomes apparent, once again, that as the ocean temperatures rise, the salmon move north into cooler waters off of Alaska. Recapping salmon landings versus ocean temperature rise. In 1950, the total salmon landings in the Pacific Northwest was 149,000 metric tons, according to National Marine Fisheries landings data. In 2007, the total salmon landings in the Pacific Northwest was 403,000 metric tons. This represents a 270% increase in the Pacific landings, which clearly indicate that the Pacific Northwest fisheries are in excellent shape. It is also of interest to note that in the best of times, only 20% of salmon were caught in California, Oregon, and Washington. In 2007, they landed only 3%. It is unfortunate that the salmon fisheries in California, Oregon, and Washington have seriously declined. However, the data clearly indicates that dams and human activities have no effect on this present situation. Since the entire premise of removing dams is to restore salmon fisheries in California, Oregon, and Washington, the data does not support either the KBRA or KHSA based on data from National Marine Fisheries Service and NOAA. Understanding the Pacific Ocean historic temperature rise. As a result of the research into understanding the salmon landings in the Pacific Northwest, an interesting relationship was noted that could account for the historic rise in Pacific Ocean temperatures. The graphs below represent a relationship between Pacific Ocean temperature, ring of fire volcanic activity, and global earthquake activity. It is interesting to note that all 3 appear to correlate with each other. Pacific Ocean temperature and carbon dioxide. Since the 1700s, we've seen small changes in the Pacific Ocean temperatures. Based on National Marine Fisheries Service El Nino and La Nina data, they refer to rises as much as 2.8 degrees. However, since the 1970s, we've seen a historic rise in the Pacific Ocean that could reach a 10-degree warming trend. This historic rise in temperature of the Pacific Ocean is directly related to large amounts of carbon dioxide being released into the atmosphere. As ocean temperatures rise, carbon dioxide leaks out of the ocean like a glass of root beer going flat on a warm day. As a result, massive amounts of carbon dioxide are released into the atmosphere. It would appear that global warming advocates are not viewing data from NASA Earth Observatory satellites. The Pacific Ocean has dropped 4 inches. NASA says new images from its Jason-2 oceanography satellite shows the tropical Pacific has switched from El Nino warm conditions to La Nina cool conditions. The central equatorial Pacific Ocean could stay colder than normal into summer and beyond, said oceanographer and climatologist Bill Patzert at NASA's Jet Propulsion Laboratory in Pasadena, California. That's because sea level is already about 4 inches below normal, creating a significant deficit of the heat stored in the upper ocean. The next few months will reveal if the current cooling trouble will eventually evolve into a long-lasting La Nina situation. Global warming on a planetary scale. Global warming advocates have attempted to blame rising planetary temperatures as a result of human activity. The previous articles will demonstrate that we are looking at a natural planetary cycle where carbon dioxide is rising in the atmosphere due to ocean warming, volcanic activity, and earthquake data which all correlate with each other. After reviewing this data, I believe that you can begin to see that global warming is a natural planetary cycle phenomena and not as a result of human activity. All graphic data in this presentation are a result of research into the government agencies that are responsible for earth sciences. In this presentation, I have addressed the following issues. 1. Decline in salmon fisheries in California, Oregon, and Washington. The conclusion: dams and human activity have no effect on the decline. Rising ocean temperatures drove salmon north into Alaska per data from NOAA. 2. Historic rise in Pacific Ocean temperature. Conclusion: data from NASA and NOAA confirm a historic rise in the Pacific Ocean since the early 70s, driven by historic volcanic activity in the Ring of Fire. 3. Global warming as it relates to human activity. Conclusion: data from NASA indicates that historic volcanic activity in the Ring of Fire, global earthquake activity, and worldwide ocean temperatures rising would tend to have us conclude that we are observing a cyclic planetary global event.